What is going on, y'all? Welcome back to the Locks DFS MLB breakdown. My name is Narang. I'm from locksdfs.com, and I'll be breaking down this 9-game main slate on DraftKings and FanDuel for Wednesday, May 29th. Before I get into that, if y'all want to go ahead and leave a like and comment on this video, it would really mean a lot to me as far as gaining traction on these videos and growing this channel. As well as the same giveaway we run every single week. We like to give back to those of y'all who are leaving likes, leaving positive comments. So we go through our videos every single week, and we announce a winner every Monday. On Monday's video, we announce a winner for a free season pass of your choice. Obviously, just baseball going on, so most people are going to pick baseball. But you can pick whatever pass you want. You want to get a football pass for next year? Go ahead and do that. Go ahead and reserve one of those. We'll totally let that go. So if you are interested in that, go ahead, leave some likes. Go ahead, leave some comments, and we'll get you in for sure. And lastly, if you guys want to just check out the site, it is locksdfs.com. This is where we offer all of our content. Right now, obviously, just baseball going on. But we got a one sport pass, all sport pass, and a season pass. All these are a great deal. Highly recommend you guys get involved with any single one of these if you are interested in becoming a better DFS player. Comes with access to, as we say, our lock sheets, articles that we write every single day, first look, top stacks articles. Comes with access to a private members only chat. So a lot of good stuff in here. If you guys are interested, go ahead and check it out at locksdfs.com. But with that being said, let's just get into this slate. So it's a pretty good, well-balanced slate full of decent pitching options. Or I should say really good pitching options and decent hitting options. So as we usually start, I like to start my favorite point per dollar high-priced pitcher. And that guy for tonight is going to be Blake Snell. Just super hard to get off of a guy who's got these kind of absurd numbers this year. 2.66 xFIP to righties, 2.08 to lefties, 14K per 9 to lefties, 12.39 to righties, limiting hard contact, getting ground balls. His swinging strike rate is absurd. I think I already have it up. Yeah, it's right here. It's 18.7%. Obviously, swinging strike rate isn't the only thing that's indicative of strikeout upside, but it's definitely one of the more important stats you can look at in predicting someone's strikeout upside. Obviously, the opposing team factors into that as well, which in this case is the Toronto Blue Jays, who rank in the top 5 in strikeouts on the year versus left-handed pitching. They have the third worst WRC plus at 70. Just an awful team. Their on-base percentage is one of the lowest in years. Just they're not hitting the ball right now. They've got a bunch of strikeouts up and down the lineup. They do have some power in there with Grichuk and Vlad, but just way too many strikeouts to be concerned about that. So Blake Snell at home, definitely going to be my favorite point per dollar option on this slate, and I believe it's reflected in this team total as well, with the Blue Jays opening up at 3 and have since moved down to 2.9, which is the lowest team total on the slate. There are some other options up in this range with Buehler, Syndergaard, and Bumgarner. Of those 3, I'm probably most interested in Buehler, but obviously on the lock sheet and in the articles, we'll go deeper into those guys and talk to our members about them in the chat. But let's go ahead and talk about a low-price pitcher. So I also like to do a low-price starting pitcher for those of y'all who are new to these videos. So I think as far as ownership goes right now, I'm seeing that ownership is looking like Snell, Buehler, Ronaldo Lopez, and then Pablo Lopez. So we're going to see some of these Lopez's generate ownership down here. Ronaldo, obviously, as I read, coming in slightly higher owned right now by about 6%. But I'm going to be more interested in Pablo Lopez. Almost for the same reason I was really interested in Trevor Richards last night. I know a lot of members, including myself, we all played Trevor Richards in this spot. It's a good run prevention spot versus San Francisco. It's a good strikeout spot versus San Francisco. It's in a good ballpark in Miami. So it's a real safe spot to pay down at starting pitcher. And then on top of that, Ronaldo Lopez is really good as well. 3.58 xFIP to righties, 4.29 to lefties. Decent K stuff to both handedness. And he's generating a lot more strikeouts and a lot better of an xFIP at home. 10.03 K per 9 at home with a 3.21 xFIP. Definitely makes sense when you consider he pitches in Marlins ballpark, which is one of the best pitcher ballparks in baseball. And another great thing about Pablo Lopez, is the ground balls he generates. He doesn't give up too many line drives, doesn't give up too many fly balls. He generates around 50% ground balls, which is definitely helpful in getting him out of trouble, getting him out of some sticky situations. He's going to get a pitcher spot, as always, pitching in Miami. And we see San Francisco open up with a fairly low team total. and positive line movement on Miami as we saw yesterday. Not as stark as yesterday's reverse line movement was, but still 22% of bets on Miami, yet they have moved from plus 108 to plus 106. We could definitely see that move more throughout the day as we get closer to lock. So I'll be most interested in him as my low price pitching option. So with that being said, let's just jump into these bats. Couple interesting spots here. A lot of targetable spots here, but a couple interesting ones that I'm going to highlight in this video. The first is going to be the Colorado Rockies at home versus Robbie Ray. They do have a fairly low team total for a Rockies team in Coors Field. They opened at 5-5. They've since dropped to 5-3. The total in this game has dropped by half a run. I'm assuming it's because of the cold weather we're getting here in Denver right now. Predicted to be a little bit rainy around game time, so we could see a game in which the ball doesn't travel as well. Like last night, it was tough to hit a home run last night. We saw Chris Iannetta jack one, though, but he really had to hit one real hard. So not the most favorable hitting environments, but the fact that it is Coors Field kind of overrides all of that, in my opinion. And Robbie Ray is a guy who I think a lot of people aren't going to want to target because he is a good pitcher. But he does still struggle with hard contact, and he does still specifically versus righties, and he does struggle with his walk versus right-handed bats as well. 4.12 xFIP versus righties with almost a 6 walk per 9. Not great. 43.4% hard hit rate with to righties, and 43% to lefties. Giving up a decent amount of fly balls, obviously a little higher to righties, 40%. So I'm really going to be looking at these righties in this lineup. Obviously, Notto's story when they're in Coors at home versus a lefty, they're as much of a priority as any player in DFS on any slate for me. So I'm going to really be looking to get them in, despite the fact that Robbie Ray is a fairly good pitcher. And if for whatever reason I get him at lower ownership for that reason, I will definitely take that because Coors Field is a beast and it can wreck even the best pitchers. So, which Robbie Ray isn't, for the record. So I'm going to be looking at a lot of these righties. You get them at decent prices as well. We're going to see guys like Mark Reynolds probably make the lineup today. I don't anticipate them rolling out Daniel Murphy, but even if they do, you can just not play him. But guys like Mark Reynolds, 3,500. Guys like Ian Desmond, 3,900. Brendan Rodgers, 3,900. Those are guys that you can kind of complement with an Arenado story stack if you so choose to. Definitely something I'll be looking at throughout the day. And then another spot that I think is really interesting is going to be the Atlanta Braves at home versus Anibal Sanchez and this awful Nationals bullpen, I should mention. Anibal Sanchez, a guy who kind of depends more on pitch mix and pitch sequencing over his stuff. He added a cutter last year and rode it to a sub-4 xFIP, which is pretty impressive, but this year it's just not working. 6.75 walks per 9 and 4.32 walks per 9 to left and right-handed bats, respectively. That's kind of a recipe for disaster versus an extremely patient Atlanta Braves offense. It's going to make you throw strikes. What Anibal Sanchez really does is he does do a good job of limiting hard contact, about 30% this year, which is pretty good, but he does give up too many line drives and too many fly balls, just not enough easy outs as far as ground balls go. The weather's predicted to be 91 degrees in Atlanta today, very hot, very humid. The ball should be absolutely flying out of SunTrust. We've seen this team total rise from 5.2 to 6. That's some big line movement early in the day. Definitely a spot that I'm going to be looking to target versus Anibal Sanchez. And like I mentioned, this Nationals bullpen over the last 14 days, they have the 10th worst xFIP, by far the worst ERA, but the 10th worst xFIP. But on the season, they're a bottom 3 bullpen. They've just been awful this entire year. So if the Braves do run Anibal Sanchez out this game early, definitely an interesting spot, or definitely a spot that could get even more interesting for the Braves. So that being said, those are going to be the main 2 teams that I'm going to talk about on these videos. There's a few other spots I'd like to get into. We might actually do that on the home run calls because that's the next segment of these videos. So as you guys know, I like to do 2 home run calls, one guy above 4K, one guy below 4K on DraftKings. We'll start with the high price guy. My high price guy is going to be Nolan Arenado at 5.6K. Home versus a lefty. Robbie Ray still giving up 44% hard contact to righties, 40% fly ball rate, xFIP above 4. I'll still be interested in going here. So I'll have Nolan Arenado as my high price bomb tonight. And then for a low price bomb, I alluded to this just a few minutes ago, but I'm going to look at some of these White Sox as some cheaper one-offs or a little stack in this game, like maybe a 4-5 yonder Eloy stack is pretty interesting to me. Both these guys are sub 4K. My low price home run call is going to be Eloy, generating a ton of power versus right-handed bats. This is where he's hit every single one of his home runs this year. All of them have come, I think 7 of them. All 7 have come versus right-handed pitching. Glenn Sparkman, just a totally average pitcher, a little bit worse versus lefties. I have his numbers pulled up here. 4.42 xFIP versus lefties, 4.75 versus righties, but he does give up more hard contact to lefties, more line drives, more fly balls. But I'm still going to be interested in Eloy. Just way too cheap for a guy of his talent with a guy of his power. And what I showed a little earlier as far as bullpen goes, over the last 14 days, we see the Royals bullpen as the 3rd worst with a 5.24 xFIP, right in line with how they've been this entire season. Bottom 5 bullpen on the year. So a good spot for these White Sox bats if you want to look to them for some value as a one-off or something like that. So with that all being said, guys, thank you so much for checking out this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please do leave a like. Please do leave a comment. It really does mean a lot. And as always, you will be entered into that giveaway that I mentioned in the beginning of the video. I hope you guys win a ton of money tonight. Christian will see y'all on Thursday with these videos, and I will see y'all on Friday. Peace.